It has content every freaking day. Absolutely. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. We're here for the next couple hours. We appreciate it. By the way, Howard Balzer will be with us. That'll be at 3:30. Big Z will be with us at 4:30. All right. Hit that like button. And we started off with A.J. Brown. I want to read this, and I want you to tell me if you had the same takeaway as me. So, Jason Kelce was on WIP today, and I listened to the clip, and this is basically what he said about A.J. Brown. And then I'm going to give you my opinion of what it means. Jason Kelce on perceived lack of effort from A.J. Brown this season. He's just, unfortunately, a player who allows his internal frustrations to manifest into his play. I read you a scouting report. And it makes him play worse, which makes the offense look worse. Sounds to me like Jason Kelce's talking to me about a player that's not mentally tough. A.J. Brown's not a mentally tough player. I mean, I'm going to read it again. You tell me if you think what I take away from it, do you get the same thing? Kelce on the perceived lack of effort from A.J. Brown. By the way, it's a sound clip. You can go listen to it. And my opinion, that is an opinion now. You tell me if you have the same opinion. He just unfortunately is a player who allows his internal frustrations to manifest into his play, and it makes him play worse, and it makes the offense look worse. Okay? Sounds to me like he's not a tough guy mentally. That guy's not a guy you want in your foxhole. If you're not mentally tough, dude, what the fuck are we doing here? You can easily be beat when your frustrations get the best of you. I mean, I get why some of the things that were said about you in Tennessee now. You're not a mentally tough guy. Am I reading that wrong? On what Jason Kelce said? I mean, Jason Kelce's basically saying, this guy's a great player. But when he gets frustrated, it gets the best of him. Well, that's a guy who's mentally weak. I mean, that's a guy that's not a mentally tough player when you need him the most. Isn't that funny? When things start to go south on the football team, AJ's at his worst. AJ's at his worst. Is that a guy you want when you're making transition and you're trying to make a transition from one offense to another? And if the shit's not going right, is A.J. Brown the guy you want on your football team? If you're trying to maybe this is one of the things that after they went to that run game in 24, the frustration has built up so much. This guy, he's never been, do we agree? Ever since Saquon Barkley came to the Philadelphia Eagles, do we agree he's not been the same guy? So the Eagles 6 for me is TJ Parker, Sis, Boston, Proctor, Lemieux, and Young. I like it, Kyle. Appreciate the super. Thank you. Okay? I don't know how Howie didn't force a sports psychologist to be by AJ's side to help keep him focused unless they did. There's no way they did. A.J. Brown, do you want that guy on your football team when you're trying to make a transition? And if he doesn't like it, he's going to throw a fit? Do you want A.J. Brown on your football team? This guy's going to throw a fit if this doesn't work. I mean, let's do this again. Do you really want a guy that Jason Kelce said this. The guy's not mentally tough. So Howie will draft O-line in round 1. I agree. Now he's talking money. If you're a gray and don't pay a sub each month to support the channel, sit down. Yeah. Who are you talking to, Sue? Appreciate you, Sue. Thank you. Still serious conversation. Should the Eagles take the cap hits now to reload and get younger in the offense? Trade back to 26 and 27 draft will have wide receivers and D-line. That's a good thought. AJ all the way. Heard it yesterday. Wants the ball all the time. Pietas. I'm talking about Jason Kelce is saying right now. Jason Kelce saying that this guy's not tough. Dude, they're going to make a meteoric change in the offense. I heard Xander and John talking. So wait a minute. If shit starts to go south, Sean Mannion's going to go back to doing what they did? Why'd you fire Stoutland then? When I heard that today, Xander was on with John. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to type in, if you go back to what you did, then why'd you fire Stoutland? If Sean Mannion goes into the season and shit's not working and you hired a guy to install a new system and a new way of winning, and then you revert back, what the hell did you fire Stoutland for? To go back to a lesser O-lineman in a more unestablished offensive coordinator? So you're not all in? That didn't make sense from John to me. Here, wait. First 4 weeks, this shit don't work. Well, we're going to go back to what we did with lesser experienced coaches. The stuff doesn't add up. Once again, dude, you're missing the fucking point. If they go back to doing what they did the last 4 years, why did you fire Stoutland? To go back to a lesser experienced offensive line coach and a lesser experienced coordinator? I'm not even talking about Stoutland. I'm talking about staying the course. Come on, Sil. Stout out and had enough. You're missing the points, man. Listen, guys, I'm not going to go through that again. You're missing the point. John, he said this morning, I heard it. If that new coordinator, Sean Mannion, and this new scheme doesn't work, what they're going to try to do, they're going to revert back to what they normally do. And they're going to adjust. Okay? Why'd you fire Stoutland? I think Julian Laurie has a bigger role in all of this than we think. He hired the coordinator. Just my take in hiring lesser coaches is simple, that they have to start sometime. Stoutland firing was idiotic. Okay, Mr. Hill, I agree with you. You got to start somewhere. But 5 guys? Seals, getting number 31 from New England for AJ is looking pretty good right now. Flipping AJ for Crosby looks pretty good too. I think the Raiders are going to want a little bit higher of a pick than the 23rd player taken. Seals, what do you think of Gettings Dunker? He fits the Stoutland mold, but unsure how he would fit in the new scheme. I'll take a look at more of the draft picks as we get closer to the NFL draft. We first got to get through free agency. I don't mind talking the draft picks, We're big college guys, you know. They're all trying to evolve the offense. Stout isn't waiting for them to fail and go back to the original offense. It's not rocket science. Stout left. He wasn't fired. He was pushed out, in my opinion. So, in your opinion, what's the key to the system working? The quarterback. On-time throws, dissecting defenses, being able to read defenses, processing. That's what's key to this. You've got to have to run a West Coast offense, I think you have to have an elite arm. And I think you have to have a guy who can process the defenses. This is a thinking man's offense. You don't really have to be an athlete to run this. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you don't have to be. That's why when you get somebody like Steve Young or you get somebody like Aaron Rodgers that is athletic, get this, look at this. The old scheme was bad. They were 50-18 with 2 Super Bowl appearances in the Super Bowl. I'm not even reading the rest of that bullshit. Scheme was bad. Back-to-back NFC champ. You won 3 NFC East championships in the last 4 years. You went back-to-back. You got 2 Super Bowl appearances, and you're 50-18. And you got a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Get this. It wasn't a good system. Okay, guy. According to Kaplan's interview on your show, if the timeline adds up, Stoutland changed his mind when they hired Mannion. Probably so. I never said nothing about money. I think you're talking to someone else. All good, brother. Let's see here. Seahawks, I don't think are a good football team. I think they're okay. All right, so again, A.J. Brown's not mentally tough. Is that a guy you want to build your football team around? I got you flexing. I got you, bro. Is that the guy you want to build your football team? This offense is for teams with bad O-lines. This offense is for a team with a really great quarterback, not an okay one. By the way, I thought it was really awesome. Adam Kaplan told you exactly who Jalen Hurts is. He's a good player. I think we've always said that too. Hurts is a good ball player, man. Elite? Nowhere near it. The guy's not an elite quarterback. I think you have to have a guy who knows how to read defenses to be in this offense. What people won't admit is that AJ and Smitty, with their incredible catches, bailed this team out for the last 4 years. I happen to agree with that. AJ's like that because he knew what would happen. Not ideally, but we are under the gun with money. That I agree with. And it's not exactly clear if other teams will pay or give up enough for AJ. That's a pretty damn good take. Was Keyshawn Johnson mentally weak? Absolutely not. Keyshawn Johnson was a pain in the ass. He was a pain in the ass. Mentally weak? No. No, he wasn't. 2 collapses in 3 years, Sil. Scheme was horrible. Vic just hit it very well with the defense. Dude, in the last 3 years, you've won back-to-back NFC East titles, a Super Bowl, and you're 3-1 in the playoffs. 3-2 in the last 3 years. Is that awful? Shit, you got me defending that shitty offense now. If the Raiders get their quarterback at number 1 and AJ at number 23 pick, that's a steal. What is Sil's talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What positions are deep in free agency? Let me take a look at that. I will do that in a bit. Remind me, Kyle. I don't care about you agreeing with. I'm not sure. Again, you have no money to spend. Right now, they're about 23 million or 20 million cap space. Okay, 20 million. Guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. We appreciate you. I thought that was one of the absolutely incredible lines that I read and really listened to when it came to Jason Kelce calling A.J. Brown mentally soft. Made me think this. Why in the world would I want to bring that guy back when I'm trying to make all these changes? Why would I do that? Okay, why would I want him back? By the way, here's something else to think. Wait a minute. I'm spitballing here. Why would I want to bring a player back that I have to convince to come back? You know what I'm saying? If I have to convince you to come back and play in Philly, I don't want the guy on my team. Right? Why would you want? I got enough trouble with the new coaches and the new scheme I have to do. Sills, you defending Nick's shitty offense. Would have never seen the day. I know I'm catching myself there with that a little bit, right? Analytics is costing you first downs. It seems very set of downs. Every set of downs. Yeah, because they're losing first and second down. You're dead right there, Charles. Seahawks got this win. Sills, rub that Buddha belly for us. We're getting repeat from D1. Just the issue was not the scheme. The issue was that offense one-dimensional. If we could run, we had nothing else in the bag of tricks. That's the quarterback. When we did run, well, things opened up. Dude, I'm getting AJ Brown's being called out by Jason Kelce in a nice way. That his mental weakness hurt the team a year ago. Sills, I guess AJ's immaturity makes him mentally weak. I'm not breaking his balls. Mental health is real. We need him, Sills. Look. Mental health for a football player. You know what, for me, this is going to sound terrible. And I'll say this to you. Mental health. Okay. I'll trade you to a team that deals with that better than me. This is a professional sport that I have to have as much focus as possible. This is not a daycare center. This is not a mental health center. If you need more help, I'm not willing to do it. I'm trying to build a football team. And I don't want that responsibility. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry, folks. That's how NFL teams think. If there's a problem on the team, C.J. Gardner was a nightmare. They moved him. Tim Tebow, with his prayers and his faith of God, he was basically exiled from the league. At the end of the day, you guys are thinking that these teams give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about you. You and me, on the other hand, we care about people. The NFL doesn't give a shit about that. You need to think like NFL teams. You think they give a shit about players' health, let alone their mental health? When they're asking for an 18th game? Come on, man. Hey, Mr. Hill, I get it. You're not wrong. This ain't about right and wrong. Okay? This isn't like that. This got nothing to do with that shit. It sounds bad, doesn't it? Well, that's the NFL. She says, how good do you think Harbaugh will be? I think Harbaugh's assembling himself a great coaching staff, and they're going to be good. I don't know how good, but it won't be because of a lack of coaching. That's cold, Sills, but that's the truth. No one wants to admit it. Amen, brother. Hey, I don't like talking like that. I don't, because you don't sound like a cool dude. Well, the NFL, whoever said they gave a shit about health. Okay? I mean, nobody gives a shit. People use mental health as scapegoats. Look what Ben Simmons pulled. Hey, dude, I believe that it's a real thing. I get it. Organizations don't give a shit about it. Hurts will go to another level with AJ if he's traded. How in God's name is he going to go to another level when he's never displayed that in the pocket? Another level. He doesn't have another level. Sills, when AJ was involved in the game plan, his focus was on the game. Correct. When he was not involved, he got all twisted, mentally weak. The team does not care about mental health, but the NFLPA should. My friend, you're talking like you're trying to make sense. Big Sills, thanks, bro. You got me to understand it's a ruthless business. Mr. Hill, you're not wrong to think that, and you should have compassion and empathy for people. I completely agree with you as a man and as a human. As an NFL guy, they could give three shits for that. They'd rather just move the problem. I think Mr. Hill, how about this? So if they cared about player safety, wouldn't there be more buys? Expanded rosters? They wouldn't be seeking 18 to 20 games? Those are the facts. Okay? Those are the facts in what you have. All right? Those are the facts. 3:30 p.m. I knew he would mess it up. 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Big Z, make sure you send it to him. I know you did. I'm sure you did. But 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Sills, I respectfully disagree about Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is not the best quarterback in the NFL. Then second best, Jalen Hurts is really good. I know I may be biased as an Eagle fan. Listen, Shane, I think he's a really good player. I really do. I think he's a good player. Elite. The last two teams that won the Super Bowl, in my opinion, they won it with two non-elite quarterbacks. Seals, I would be intrigued with AJ off the team. Hurts will be forced to the ball and get the ball to Devontae and be forced to spread the ball. Actually, that's the next topic. Well, he is disengaged, runs only 3 routes, literally, and doesn't get the ball where he is open every play on the film. And Jalen's offense has ruined him. It's not Jalen's offense that has ruined him. It's the approach and style of play. Style of play has get this. Style of play has disengaged John, A.J. Brown, and has disengaged and not developed Jalen Hurts. Okay? Mark Holmes has had mental issues. Well, bring that up with him. Okay? Bring that up with him. Hey. So, here's the next topic. Okay? Okay? Here's the next topic. A.J. Brown Would this football team, the Eagles, be better? And do you believe they can win with Devontae Smith and with Saquon Barkley and the football and the new scheme going through those two and not having AJ? According to Jeremy Fowler, executives are expecting the Eagles to take numerous calls about potentially moving him. Do you believe that the Eagles can win games through Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley? If they built the offense, okay? If they built the offense through A.J. Brown not being here, talent-wise, Hurts is the weakest link. In terms of morale, Brown has to go. 10 games max. No AJ, Hurts won't have 15 TD passes. No, I don't think the Eagles can win without AJ. We need him. And we need him. I hope AJ's back in 26 and AJ's part of the new offensive scheme. Yes, but the issue with Saquon and Hurts have a captain struggle. Is this Hurts' team or Saquon's? Saquon's more of a leader, in my opinion. They both are different. I feel there's a locker room situation like T.O. and McNabb. I don't believe that at all. RC3. Do you think AJ's bullshit is hurting Hurts? It's a good question. Maybe a little. Seals, when do the Eagles hold Howie on the hot seat? I don't believe Howie Roseman will ever be on the hot seat. Not in any time or any foreseeable future. I don't believe that. Thanks, dude. Guy's weird. Eagles need a wideout willing to go between the hash marks. Let Smitty be your deep threat. I'll ask you again. Do you believe that you in this offense, okay, do you believe that this offense can win with just and have the offense go through Devontae Smith? So we better draft a couple players ready to play in the position of need, or we're going to have another Temu offseason. We need a wide receiver who can move around. That's another thing. That's why Devontae makes more sense in this new scheme that you're going to run. I'm starting to think that they're really going to start thinking about moving away from A.J. Brown as we get closer to free agency. Seals, we need AJ. Now, how about this? You know how you can get AJ out of here? You can go into AJ and have him restructure his contract to make it easier for him to go to a team and make it easier for the Eagles to move him. If you want to get him out of here and he wants out of here so bad and he wants to go to the team that he wants to go to, he can restructure his contract. We'll restructure the deal, and we'll try to get you to a winner. And we'll try first to get you to New England. He's out of the conference. He's not in the NFC anymore. He's in the AFC. You want to really move, and you want to really, and get this. I mean, what would New England be willing to give up? New England's 31st number one overall pick. So you'd have a pick at 23 and 31. You'd have 2 ones. You can move up and get a wideout, or you can go and move up maybe with both those ones and get yourself in a better position to get the Miami offensive tackle. Great take on Devontae. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think he could be a number one in this offense. And the new one you're putting in, the quarterback's the issue. The quarterback is not a West Coast guy. He'll never be. Now, what variation are they going to run with that? No player would take a pay cut to get traded. Nobody's. Kevin Byard restructured his contract when he left Tennessee to play in Philadelphia. He had a big-time contract, restructured his deal. And, well, then you're going to go to the Browns. Then you're going to go to the Titans. Then you're going to go to shitty teams like Arizona. You're not going to get to go where you want. He has no control over his destination unless he redoes his deal. AJ, it's either here or a shitty team. If you restructure, that's a different story. He has no control. Once again, this guy's a fucking idiot. He sits here talking all week long about dumb shit so I can recognize him. Here, guy. Dude, different situation? No shit, dickbag. No shit. But how you move people by moving money. This guy's the dumbest dude in here. I thought M. Reyes was. That guy takes the fucking bank. He's a moron. This entire switch is based on Hurts' ability to play better. I don't see him succeeding in this offense. I don't either. This guy's not going to win in this. Now, will depend on what the variation is. Okay? Let's see here. Reyes, yeah, really? He does, huh? Well, I'm the one that shows up here every day for my show. He shows up for my show. You figure it out. By the way, I actually dig the guy. So as we saw in No AJ in 2021, Smitty was one and we had Sanders and inexperienced Jalen. We made the wild card. That's going to be our ceiling. AJ, 10 wins. Agreed. Comeback? It's not really a comeback. It's facts. I feel we have AJ Brown. I feel if we have AJ take a pay cut, then that's good. If he stays, because then he can get extended. Jalen Phillips and maybe Dallas Goedert. He's not taking a pay cut to stay. That's not what I'm saying. If you're trading AJ, it's for Crosby, Garrett. AJ Brown is not in the same conversation as Myles Garrett. Bro, you're looking at once again, Eagle fan thinking that you have a player that's in Max Crosby or Myles Garrett's league is insane. The most you'll get for AJ Brown is a 2. You're not getting a 1. Are you crazy? If you do, it would be New England, and that it'd be at 31. You guys are looking at AJ Brown. You think he's some sort of He's not looked at like that right now the last 2 years. Okay? He's not. Never said we wouldn't trade picks too. Limited words. I'm not sure what you're talking about here, man. Here's Prince. Prince, I agree. This is what's going to make this offseason great, though. This offseason is hurting my head. Trade package. Mendoza needs a wideout. To the Raiders, great pick. Now here, trading AJ and giving the Raiders a 3 for Crosby, that kind of makes sense. That makes sense. Crosby's a better player than A.J. Brown right now. He's a better football player. Abe, okay, let's see here. Need a quarterback to throw for 4K every year usually means you don't have a complete team. That's right. The more elite the quarterback, the lesser the team. You notice that? They got the money. They got the money. Boy, hey, man. Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson on each side. Detroit would go to the Super Bowl. Shields, you got to pay attention in the chat. I pay attention to what I want to pay attention to, but I appreciate you, my friend. Denny Sills, Kubiak already said he'd evaluate on the players, not guarantee they will take Mendoza. I think Mendoza's a third-round pick. He's not impressive to me. Like, if I'm gonna build a football team around a quarterback, he ain't it. So the quarterbacking system is the main reason AJ's value has dropped. Maybe a little. So if we trade AJ, would we have enough money to extend Phillips and Jalen Carter? I think that cap hit, if you move him now, when free agency starts, you got to carry that money till June 1. So you're going to be limited. I'm with you too. Hey, look, he's got all kinds of crazy intangibles. By the way, we have some off-season questions that we're going to throw at you here in a minute. Sills, AJ wants to dominate. He doesn't want to be here anymore. The quarterback doesn't get him the ball enough or on time. Okay, yeah, he just doesn't get him on. AJ doesn't like the fact. You heard what Kaplan said. AJ hates the fact that Jalen Hurts doesn't get the ball to him on time. He's talked to AJ Brown about this. Go back and listen to that interview that Kaplan had yesterday, Adam Kaplan. AJ Brown hates the way the quarterback, he doesn't like the quarterback's skill. This is on the quarterback. I think Eagle fans are delusional and spoiled. You guys got spoiled with Hurts and a top defense. Now you act like the Patriots under Belichick and Brady. You ain't a dynasty. Respect Hurts. Kaplan told the truth. He will become a regular. He's already asked to come on the program. Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys being here. Sills, AJ and Crosby are close. Wide receiver versus edge. I can win a Super Bowl without both guys. If my quarterback is elite. If my quarterback's not elite, I probably need AJ. And so you probably are right with AJ versus Crosby. Okay? I mean, JSN is spectacular in Seattle. Darnold's a good player. He's not an elite guy. So even is that guy, don't tell me respect, a Wildcat WB. Don't know what that is. My bad. 100%. Seen AJ open so many times on a slant, and the ball was never out before his break. He doesn't throw with anticipation. Now, again, I want to go back to what we said about how much are they going to completely change this. Seals, if we can somehow get another late number 1 pick and we offload AJ, we can use that for a shiny new wide receiver. And maybe re-sign Goedert. Goedert ain't coming back, dude. Why would Goedert come back? You made him take a $4 million pay cut. You've already, he's, why would he come back? The only way he comes back is if he's cool taking that $4 million pay cut. There's nothing you can do to bring him back unless he says, okay. And I happen to think the Bucs should sign him. The Bucs are going to be looking for a tight end because they're moving off of Cade Otton. If I were the Eagles, I might look at Cade Otton. Cade Otton plays in a spread offense. Maybe I'd bring him in. He's a pretty good football player. He would hate playing with the quarterback, but he's a spread offense tight end. Why would Hurts get it to AJ on time? With the way he acts, way he's acting, Sills, giving up on routes and speculation of drop passes on purpose. I don't believe that he's dropping passes on purpose.